Hello and welcome to your daily Spirit of the Soul show. It's Power Coach Alicia here. I barely even made it to this, but we are here and we are going to rock and roll. Today we are talking about how to keep your heart open when you feel guarded. We are on page 79 in your daily Spirit of the Soul journal that's all about finding your inner calm and embracing your truth. And this is a hard topic because it's hard to do. So whether you are live with me, want to drop hashtag live party in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, drop hashtag after party. This is a great live to share with your friends, maybe your partner, but I really want you to take it to heart because this is something that I'm noticing that's coming up as a theme with people that I am doing quiz results with. I'm noticing a lot of guardedness. I'm noticing a lot of head operation in life to survive and make it through. So this is a really powerful subject to bring to this. Was it unplugged? Hold on one second. Gotta love technology. Sorry, it just gave me an error that says, was it unplugged? Okay, cool. That my mic was unplugged. So I didn't want to go through that again because a couple weeks ago I did a whole live that was bomb and there was no audio. So all right. So I first want to share with you something that is extremely important as you operate in life. All right. There are 3 stages to soul healing. There are 3 stages in how you operate, not 3 stages to soul healing. There are 3 levels in which you operate emotionally that if you are not in the level needed, you will not heal your soul. So I notice that people are coming to these quiz sessions and, as I set it up, explain what's going on, what we're doing, the work that we're doing, that sort of thing. It's fine if they're in their head. But when we start getting into the quiz results and what's going on, and it's important that you drop in at least to your heart, you're staying in your head. So bringing this up here is extremely important because if you operate in your life in your head and you want people to show you love and accept you and connect with you and value you and honor you and respect you, but you operate in a practicality, logical, analytical mind, you're creating a massive disconnect where people aren't going to be able to reach you at the level that it is that you want them to reach you at because you are blocking them. So there is, time and space and the place for operating in your head. But that time and space and place is not in soul work. It is not in the space where you are healing. When you operate in your head, when you're healing, you're creating a block to actually heal. Okay. Rody. Okay, that's distracting. My dog drinking water. All right. So it's really, really a disconnected way of showing up and really being able to heal. So what I want to give you, and this has something to do with the soulful bonds and how to keep your heart open when you feel guarded, is dropping into your heart. Okay. So important that you are in your heart instead of in your head. Your heart opens you up a little bit more where you're in an energy of understanding. You're in an energy of connectedness. You're in an energy of more openness. If you're in your heart, when you're looking at yourself and connecting with yourself and thinking about what you need and what you want and where you're going and what you're missing and what you crave and all of those things, you're going to come up with better answers, right? If you're in your head, you're going to be thinking of all the things like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Who cares? I'm being too emotional, da 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 da, which is a complete disconnect in where you want to be when you're healing. When you drop all the way in, though, and that's soul deep, and you get deep in yourself, the place where you just shove a whole bunch of shit and you think it's never going to come back up and you don't even need to really worry about it and it's no big deal. When you get down to that place in you and you do healing work from that place, being extremely open and honest with yourself, that is where radical transformation happens. So there's a story of a woman that I met recently, and I let her know that I had this download that there was a time of her life where something happened. And when that happened, she decided that she did not deserve happiness. She did not deserve to put herself first. She did not deserve the time, the tension, the energy from herself or from anyone else. And I let her know the age range of this timing that this had happened. And when I first got the download, the age that I heard was 10 to 12. And then I edited it and I said, it might be 8 to 13, somewhere in there. Or maybe I did it backwards. I think I may have said 8 to 11 and then edited it 10 to 13 or something like that. I told her, you don't have to tell me what it is, but I need you to know that you decided that you didn't deserve it. In this particular time, something major happened that, made you decide this. She instantly blurted out, I killed my brother. That's why I killed my brother. And obviously, that's how she views it. That's how she speaks to herself. That's how she goes through that, because she's taken ownership of his death. And that's how she makes it through life. Now, that's interesting, right? Because she's taking ownership of the death of her brother, which even in this moment should have been debilitating to her. But it was like she had shut off that pain so tightly that she was feeling the pain without expressing the pain, right? But she stayed in her head this entire time. She never dropped into her heart, and she damn sure did not go soul deep. She bounced in to give the answer, and that was it. See, the challenge with that is she's learned how to operate in life, probably via therapy, based on what she feels she's done, but she could operate forward knowing that she's done that, okay? The problem with that is she's living with the belief that she killed her brother, which if she did, she'd probably be in prison, right? Or maybe she would have gotten out. But I could just tell on the energy of the situation that whatever happened, because there wasn't the point of me asking in this moment. I didn't need that information. It was about how she had created a definition from herself from the situation, not for me to get the details of the situation. It actually doesn't matter, because based on the energy, I knew she didn't kill him. I knew that that was what she told herself to punish herself since the day it happened, and she was 9 years old. So when we talk about keeping your heart open, another common thing that I hear on a regular basis is not wanting to face yourself and get caught in these places where you feel like you can't get out of. So you have this guarded heart, you have this guarded energy, you show up guarded. That's why you're in your head. But if you don't get to your heart and keep it open, then you'll never have the depth of even kind of the high level point of the relationships that you want, the love in the relationships that you want, the connection in the relationships you want, because you're in your head. I want you to drop in and have an open heart and keep it open. And ultimately, I want you to operate from a place of soul deep, because in soul deep is massive healing, massive transformation, and massive fucking connection. So when we talk about how to keep your heart open when you feel guarded, it's about staying in the open energy once you get there and asking yourself quality questions to the reason why you're attempting to shut down, you're attempting to run away, or you're attempting to avoid. All right. Now, I just want to leave that there with you, because it's such a powerful thought process, and it's something that I really want you to work on going forward, because it will change the quality of the relationship with yourself and everyone else. If you can drop all the way into soul deep and go to those places that, you've been denying and hiding and, disconnected from, and really just get honest with yourself and say, it's really time for me to do some work here. It's really time for me to make a difference here. It's really time for me to clean, clear, and release this. Then great, drop in and know that. right? And then start moving forward to clean, clear, and release it. Now, I do have a free quiz that is your secret weapon against burnout, people pleasing, and self-sabotage. This quiz is so phenomenal. So what I want you to do is drop quiz in the comments if you have not taken it yet. If you've already taken it, it's the same quiz, right? But if you have not taken it yet, drop quiz in the comments. You're going to take this quiz. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to you after I get your results. We're going to book a quiz results soul healing session. I'm going to go over this entire quiz with you. I'm going to ask you some questions to see what's been going on, where this has come from, different mindsets, different things like that. And then I'm going to build a recharge roadmap for you that helps you recharge your mind, body, and soul. When you leave this session, you're going to know what things are pressing in your life right now that if you don't clean, clear, and release them, they're going to derail you, cause a breakdown, just cause a big spiral in you that you will struggle to come back from if you don't clear these derailments. You're going to know exactly what they are. You're also going to know what your pressing issues / derailments are, number 2, and how when you work on the issues in number 1, the number 2 column virtually disappears. And then there's what's called roadblocks that are there as well. But when you work on number 1, it clears all the roadblocks. So you will leave this session with not only a clear recharge roadmap that teaches you how to recharge your mind, body, and soul, but you will leave this session knowing where your focus needs to be, and that only. You will also learn why you're sabotaging yourself, why you get derailed, exactly what your triggers are, and the importance of paying attention to these things and getting them contained before you actually start the clean, clear, and release process. Because if you don't get them contained, then they are going to derail it anyways. So if you want access to this quiz, just shout out quiz in the comments. It's free, okay? As you can see on the screen, you can take the quiz. You don't have to have a session after, but I can tell you that every single person who has had a session, not only was it different than what they thought it would be, it was so much more rewarding and informational and gave them a peace of mind and confidence and clarity in where to go and what to do, okay? Also, coming up this Thursday, February 29th, is my Power SOULcamp, which is like a boot camp for your soul. And it's all about setting strong boundaries without feeling guilty so that you can feel at peace. If you want to learn how to do that and you are not registered for this SOULcamp, it's free today, but it will be $111. All you need to do is shout out Power in the comments, and I will get you the link for that. Our quote for the day is, "Soul bonds are the invisible threads that connect hearts across time and distance, weaving a tapestry of love, understanding, and connection that transcends the limitations of the physical world." So these soulful bonds are these deep level bonds. And anybody that is in your life, if you feel safe with them, valued, honored, respected, and loved by them, can be a soulful bond. If there's not value, honor, respect, you don't feel safe, and you don't feel loved, then that is not a soulful bond. It requires all 5 of those things. When you do have all 5 of those things, you can have soulful bonds with people, be soul deep with them, be in that area with them, and you will feel safe. The guarded feelings that you tend to have with people in your life right now, they won't be there. But this work starts with you. It's not their fault that you're guarded, although you feel like it's action that they've taken, right? First and foremost, you have to get clear on why you guard yourself, why your heart is closed, why you hang out in your head, you know? And then once you do that and you drop into your heart and you start showing up differently, you give them time to adjust to the shift of you. From there, though, that's when the decisions need to be made of whether that person needs to come out of your quality world and step into more of like that acquaintance side, get them outside of your quote unquote bubble, or if there's somebody who can't be in your life at all, right? If they're not willing to adjust to your growth and transformation, they can't be inside your quality world. But those are all stages. The first stage is learning how to drop into and understand yourself and stay in a space where you can bring people close to you. There is nothing better than soulful bonds in the relationships that you have, but you cannot have them when you're at head and heart level. You only have soulful bonds at a soul deep level. If you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alicia, soul healer, author, and speaker, and I specialize in helping women go from burnt out to recharged in 30 days or less. Generally, I do this Spirit of the Soul show Monday through Wednesday, and I do my best to do it right around 1:30 p.m. Eastern, but sometimes my schedule gets crazy and I have to end up doing it later, or I can only do it a couple days a week. But no matter what, anytime you see a Spirit of the Soul show, watch it. It's very valuable and it will make a world of difference for you. Our lesson today is building deep soul bonds is a profound lesson in connection, authenticity, and the transformative power of meaningful relationships. Remember, your relationships can only be as meaningful as you are willing to go deep. Write that the fuck down. Okay. It's the understanding that authentic connections are forged when we open our hearts, share our truths, and embrace our vulnerability. So if your heart is closed, and you're not honest, right? You don't come out and you don't tell people the truth and what's going on, and you're not vulnerable, they are not reaching you at the levels that is needed for there to be that soulful bond. And you're not reaching the levels with them in those friendships where you can have, or those relationships, those close relationships with your kids, your parents, it doesn't matter. They're not at the level where you can have those close relationships because you're not allowing them there. And you have to figure out why. Why go through life having middle ground or high ground relationships, that mediocre or that half-assed, when you can have the most beautiful relationships you have ever fucking had in all different areas of relationships. This lesson empowers you to cultivate relationships that nourish your soul. That's the next thing. When you start doing this work and you really start dropping in, you will start cultivating a tribe that nourishes your soul, that you feel safe with. And you don't have to work to be open and vulnerable with them, except for to rid yourself of past habits that you had and keeping yourself guarded and closed off to people. But you can see that those people are beautiful, that they're holding space for you, that they love you, that they're honoring value, respecting you, holding you up in that space for you to show up and be as vulnerable and open as you can possibly be, because they're there to nourish you. See, you got to the point of guarding or feeling guarded or not opening your heart and being in your head because you didn't feel safe, and you surrounded yourself with people that don't nourish you, but they take from you. Okay? But that comes from the way that you treat yourself as well. And we talk about that all the time in my Soul Shift Healing membership, where we're working on shifting the way that you treat yourself so that other people stop treating you that way. Because remember, people can only treat you the way you treat yourself. So, where you can cultivate relationships that nourish your soul, where both parties feel seen, heard, and cherished. By building deep soul bonds, you create a tapestry of connection that enriches your life and supports your journey of growth and self-discovery. Yes. Hear me, feel this. This is powerful for you if you heed this and you take this. All right, our journal prompt for today is reflect on a person in your life with whom you share a deep soul bond. That means you are soul deep, soul open. You're vulnerable, right? Let's see, what else are you? Like fully vulnerable. You're fully authentic. Your heart is open. You always share your truth. They nourish your soul. You feel seen, heard, and cherished / understood. Okay? Think of a person whom you feel this way with the majority of the time. We're talking 7 times out of 10 you feel this way with this person. What qualities or actions have contributed to the depth of this connection? Consider the moments of vulnerability and authenticity that have strengthened this relationship. Hear that. Vulnerability and authenticity is what strengthens the relationship. So if you are in avoidance and editing yourself so that other people feel comfortable, there's no authenticity there. How can you nurture and further develop soul bonds with others in your life? Write about your experiences and intentions for building deepening, meaningful connections. If you have somebody that you can use, that you have a soul bond with, and you answer the question of what qualities or actions have contributed to the depth of the connection, and what moments of vulnerability and authenticity have strengthened this relationship, and you answer those, then you can clearly see what the recipe is for you to have soulful bonds with other people, for you to feel safe with other people, and for you to keep your heart open, even when situations arise where you would normally feel triggered and guarded because of the elements that are involved with the person that you or people you have soulful bonds with. It'll be easier for you to keep down your guard and keep your heart open and drop back in soul deep. But if you have people that you are surrounded with, that when they show up, they make you feel unsafe and your guard goes up, okay, there's no soulful bond with those fucking people. Remember I said 7 times out of 10, you feel like you're so deep because, everyone's human. Now, these journals are 8.5 by 11. So there's a lot of space to write and to do the journal prompt. And then the very last part of these journals is the affirmation. The affirmation for day 79 is, I open my heart to building deep soul bonds with authenticity and vulnerability. I cherish meaningful relationships that nourish my soul, where both parties feel seen and heard. I open my heart to building deep soul bonds with authenticity and vulnerability. I cherish meaningful relationships that nourish my soul, where both parties feel seen and understood. One more time. I cherish my heart I open my heart to building deep soul bonds with authenticity and vulnerability. I cherish meaningful relationships that nourish my soul, where both parties feel seen and heard. Okay. Hey, Mary. I don't know why Facebook never tells me who anybody is, but let me go over and see who you are. So powerful. Remember that with your affirmations, you want to say them 10 times. Okay. You want to say them with conviction, power, purpose, passion in your voice, and you want to get your body involved. Oh, it's Anitra. Hey, girlfriend. You want to get your body involved. Incantations. You can pat your chest. You can clap your hands, right? You can jump up and down. You can hit your legs, but you want to do something that gets this into your body, like some physical movement, or not physical movement, but like physical action that puts these affirmations into you. Okay. So say them 10 times, tap your body, clap your hands, something that gets energy moving. And remember that conviction, power, passion in your voice. If you want to keep your heart open when you feel guarded, you have to learn how to drop in soul deep. Be extremely honest with yourself. Be authentic when you speak, right? You also have to be honest with other people. You need to be vulnerable with other people. You need to share your truth and open your heart. And if you have people in your quality world that you feel like you have to protect yourself from, or they pull you out of soul deep into your heart, you need to first do the work to get clear within yourself, to show up as soulfully you. And then you start moving people outside of your quality world who you can't trust with your heart and with your soul to be completely open and vulnerably you. Those people don't have space in quality world if they are not able to make you feel safe with their words, their actions, and how they show up. Because it isn't your job to feel safe with someone else who's continually showing you that you're not safe. But when someone continually shows that you are safe, but you're used to operating with people who show you that you aren't, then that is on you to trust them, to be open, to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be authentic, to connect with them, right? It's up to you to do that. Soulful bonds, you feel safe to be soul deep, open, and honest with those people 7 out of 10 times. If you don't have anybody in your life that you feel safe to do that with, because they don't show you that you are loved, valued, honored, and respected 7 out of 10 times, it's time to go to work. We start raising standards for people in our life. We start showing people how to treat us. We start moving people outside of our quality worlds. We start removing people from our lives, and it doesn't matter who the fuck they are. Because there is nothing more beautiful and more powerful and more amazing than soulful bonds, whether friends, parents, sisters, brothers, kids, lovers. There's nothing more beautiful than soulful bonds. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It is always about progress, not perfection. And you must give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else, because the world needs who you are made to be. So show up every single fucking day and slay as the badass you are. I'm Power Coach Alicia, and we'll see you next time.